This summer, we received a huge assist from none other than the President of the United States at an event at Northern Virginia Community College. Actually, I think it was the day of, or close to the day of, your manufacturing reception, at which I had intended to have my first visit to Allentown. President Obama endorsed this manufacturing skills certification system as a national solution and an education reform important to the nation, and pledged to help us achieve our goal, which we have set as 500,000 new certified workers within the next 5 years. Well, my phone's been ringing off the hook since that event on June 8th, and we are quite frankly very thrilled by the response from both manufacturers and community colleges and high schools from across the country. We are now actively engaged in implementation of this system in 31 states. I believe the reason we've gained this substantial support, and quite frankly why the President chose to highlight the system, is because it's not just another training program for manufacturers. What it is an educational framework that will build in this country a workforce that is proficient in applied science, technology, engineering, and math skills. And across our growth industry sectors in this country, every industry is going to require a STEM-capable workforce. So where are we in Pennsylvania? Unfortunately, not very far. However, many of those calls that I received were from organizations and companies here in Pennsylvania, and asking how they can implement, on behalf of their manufacturers, the skills certification systems in their schools and in their regions. So the Institute is now actually mapping the assets here in Pennsylvania and developing a work plan to engage these groups in your regional economies, build the leadership teams necessary to strategically reform your education system to deliver your STEM-capable workforce. We would be delighted, of course, to be actively engaged in the Lehigh Valley. In my previous professional life at the U.S. Department of Labor, I had the opportunity to work in this region on what I consider to be a major economic and workforce development initiative, and some of you in the room were engaged with me in that. I know the manufacturing history of this region and the tremendous assets that it still possesses. And now I hope you are all adding to that list of assets the Vinci Science Center. Manufacturing just simply isn't going to be successful in the future unless we can encourage more young people to pursue the right educational pathways and access the careers in our industry. One way of doing that is clearly to introduce students to the amazing feats of manufacturing. Very few students have any idea how things are made anymore today. But the Vinci Science Center actually, through its Summer of Manufacturing, seems to me is giving your students a window to that world. And we were so very impressed when we heard about this and what Troy was doing that we invited Troy to join us in Washington to brief the National Education Council to manufacturers and the executives from across the country that run the manufacturing student recruitment and career awareness campaign, and called Dream It, Do It. This is truly a national model that can be and should be replicated across the country to reignite students' imagination and passion for manufacturing. So Troy, you are doing it here in the Lehigh Valley, and it's now up to the rest of us to capture those students, get them on the right educational pathways, verify that they have the skills in applied science, technology, engineering, and math that will lead to successful, high-quality, middle-class careers in manufacturing. I hope that you'll give me the opportunity to join you in your efforts, and I believe we can, again, make Pennsylvania one of the great manufacturing centers in the country and, in fact, in the world. Thank you so much.
Emily, no doubt we will be calling on you soon to talk about the certification program and how we might be able to partner with the Manufacturing Institute, again, very soon. Our next presenter is from the chairman of the Lehigh Valley Workforce Investment Board, another organization that immediately has stepped in the very, very early goings of this summer of manufacturing and said, you know what, this is important to us. This is the kind of thing we do. This is the kind of thing we need to be a part of. So I am so very excited to say that the Workforce Investment Board is a key partner and continues to be. We've been having several meetings just over the last few days on how we can further enrich our exhibit experience through Workforce Investment Board resources. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Gene Irvin, who is the chair of the Lehigh Valley Workforce Investment Board.
Thank you, and since I see Dexter Baker and Ed Donnelly here, I'd better add to that I am also with Air Products and Chemicals, one of the key companies here in the Valley. Let me start with the bad news. The day started with Troy saying that he was the cruise director. The more I thought about that, the more I said that the implication is that I'm the entertainment. That is not a good thing, I will tell you that. I am not good at singing and dancing, although I will say that if you ask me enough questions, that's exactly what you will get. So, I want to start out and thank the Vinci Center and its partners for inviting me to speak this afternoon. And I especially want to thank them and Charlie Dent for having the vision to create this manufacturing summit and help strengthen the region's focus on manufacturing issues while really reinforcing the importance of manufacturing in the Lehigh Valley. This is a difficult topic to talk about in just 5 to 10 minutes. There are so many misperceptions about manufacturing, starting with the idea that nobody manufactures anything anymore in America. It's not true. And when I thought about all of that, I thought, well, gee, maybe I ought to take the first 20 to 30 minutes of my 5 to 10 minutes and try to straighten that out. Obviously, I don't have the time to do that. Therefore, I'm going to talk about manufacturing in the Lehigh Valley and some of the programs that are being implemented by the Lehigh Valley Workforce Investment Board to help manufacturing companies and our current and future employees in this industry. There are a myriad of articles and statistics concerning the health of manufacturing in the United States. But regardless of the writer's position on its health, I think most would say that manufacturing is extremely important to the U.S. economy. Yes, as everybody has said, employment in manufacturing is down. But manufacturing is doing what every industry must do to survive. That is, they must make more with less. Today's economy is producing about the same that it did before the economy, the same in the amount of goods and services. But it's doing it with about 7 million fewer workers. And this is certainly, at least a significant part of that, is due to continued improvements in production technology, automation, and worker efficiency. And we've experienced similar dynamics here in the Lehigh Valley. Much of the valley's economy and wealth was based on the development of manufacturing. It was built by manufacturing. But it looks a lot different today than it did 50 years ago. There's a lot more brains and a lot less brawn. The shift in technology means that we, manufacturers, educators, and parents, need to work together to make sure that we have the workforce necessary to be competitive in the world marketplace. We need to educate students on the value and importance of manufacturing jobs. We need to educate them on the positive impact that these jobs can have on their lives. And we need to convince them that a solid, basic education is absolutely critical to preparing them to take advantage of the jobs that will be and are available in the manufacturing sector. And as everyone in this room knows, a ready and able workforce will help attract new manufacturers to the area. But more importantly, it will allow existing manufacturers to grow and meet the needs of their customers. As you are all aware, manufacturing is important to the Lehigh Valley. Recent data shows that there are about 800 manufacturers within the valley, and they employ over 25,000 workers. That's at least 10% of all of the workers in the valley. And these jobs pay an average of $58,000 per year. That's 20 to 25% higher than the average wage in the valley. Last month alone, the manufacturing sector added 500 jobs. And over the past year, they've added 1,000 jobs. Now, that may not be the fastest growth in the world, but it's absolutely a step in the right direction. And we're in the 9th consecutive month of employment improvement in that sector. So we are doing well, and we are moving ahead. We at the Workforce Investment Board have focused on trying to develop programs that will help build the workforce of tomorrow's manufacturing skills and help meet the needs of the region's manufacturing employers. We try to focus our programs on those industry clusters that we think will grow in the future, and we want to provide jobs that provide family-sustaining wages over the long haul. So let me just mention a few of the initiatives that we have implemented that we think will accomplish those goals. One of the most successful activities that we've implemented is an activity called Industry Partnerships. This program brings together industries and educators to identify common training needs and helps attract funding, and the funding resources necessary to train those workers. We currently have 5 industry partnerships undergoing here in the Lehigh Valley. Energy, food and beverage, healthcare, logistics and transportation, and of course, diversified manufacturing. Over the past 5 to 6 years, we have brought in more than $5 million from the Pennsylvania Department of Labor to help train incumbent workers. And more than 40% of that money has gone to diversified manufacturing. It's efforts like this that have allowed us to train over 9,500 workers through our industry partnership activities. We've also been able to connect the manufacturing industry partnership to an organization called the Pennsylvania Center for Advanced Manufacturing Careers. And this effort has helped local manufacturers voice their concerns and their issues and their problems at the state level, where strategies are then developed to help strengthen manufacturing throughout the state. The WIB has also created a program aimed specifically at job-seeking youths and adults, which is called the Career Linking Academy. This week-long career awareness and preparation program gives participants a look into the world of work through job shadowing, through industry tours, through employer panels. It teaches them interviewing skills. It teaches them how to fill out a resume and a job application. It offers training in soft skills that have been mentioned earlier today, and it does a lot more. And part of that program is an academy that is focused specifically on science, technology, engineering, and math, all of which are disciplines that you know are absolutely critical to the manufacturing center. And finally, we are in schools almost every day with an initiative called Career Force. Career Force is kind of a catch-all phrase for a variety of programs that we go through at the schools. But it also includes a career awareness course that was developed by the Lehigh Valley Business Education Partnership, B-Braun, and the Catasauqua School District. And this is an intensive 45-day career awareness course that is integrated directly into the high school curriculum. This is one of those programs that we would like to see carried on by other industries and other school districts because it's something that the kids can really use and they can utilize effectively every year to help guide them to where they need to be once they get out of school and start getting jobs. There are a lot more programs and a lot of initiatives that we've implemented and are trying to implement at the Workforce Investment Board, but I just don't have the time to go through them all. I'd be happy to do that at some other time. But I certainly want to encourage everyone here to get involved in initiatives like the ones I've talked about and the ones that we are trying to push through the Workforce Investment Board. Because this is really what our youth needs, what our employees need, and what our employers need to keep manufacturing strong in the Lehigh Valley. Thank you.